What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we get started, I gotta say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I put together a very special build for y'all, in which I'm gonna be calling the shot creating 3-level ankle taker. Now, this build, out of all NBA players, it's going to be reminding me of none other than Mr. Fourth Quarter, Uncle Drew, KYRIE Irving. Now, when it comes to this build, we'll get a 99 plus when it comes towards our 3-pointer, mid-range, ball handle, speed with ball, perimeter defense, steal, and stamina. Now, with that being said, we'll also get some upgraded layup packages, all of the dribble animations, and some dunk packages. We'll get a total of 52 badges on this build, and this is a very unique finishing build, especially when it comes to the post scoring end. Very elite deadeye shooter from anywhere on the floor, and the playmaking is the best attribute, and this is a very elite ball handler of a build. Now, this is the perfect offensive build and a great two-way player. The defense is very overpowered when it comes to the perimeter, and this is the closest version of making a Kyrie Irving build with some minor hits, but I'm telling y'all, the offense definitely stays intact. So look, before we get any further, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So the first thing we're going to do today is put this build under the point guard position. Let's go one tick up to 6'4". As for the weight, we're going to go to 175 with the wingspan up to 6'11". Now, this is all we need to move forward, and from here, the first area that I think is going to be most important for today's build is going to be our physicals. So as for that speed, let's go ahead and put this all the way up to an 86. Getting into the acceleration, I'm going to go with a 73. Moving into the strength, I'm going to leave this at a 50. And then for that vertical, leave this at a 56. Now for that stamina, I'm going to go with a 96. And if you do your Gatorade facility workouts, the +4 stars does give you a +4 put towards your physical. So we'll have a 99 plus stamina, 60 vertical, 54 strength, 77 acceleration with a 90 speed. Now, I think we look pretty special on this end of the floor. So from here, let's get started with that interior defense. I'm going to go all the way up to a 64. Now, this is really optional, but I did want to make this build very unique. As for that perimeter, I'm going to go with an 85. And then for the steal, put this all the way up to a 91. And this is going to give us a lot of extra badges that I think are going to be very special. So before we get any started with the badges, let's go ahead and finish with the actual attributes. So for that pass accuracy, go with a 67. Moving into the ball handle, I'm going to go all the way up to a 92. And then for the speed with ball, I'm going to go with a 90. Now, I think these numbers are perfect to get all of the dribble animations. Pairing this up with our physicals really makes sense, especially if you're the main ball handler on your team. Now from here, let's go ahead and get into the shooting. So as for that mid-range shot, I'm going to go all the way up to a 92. Getting into the 3-pointer, put this all the way up to an 86. And then for that free throw, I'm going to go ahead and leave this at a 70. Now, if you want to take the extra route to get free points, that's definitely okay. But this build is very specific today, so I recommend keeping this as is. And as for that finishing end, put that close shot up to a 62. 72 for our driving layup. This is going to be more than enough. And then as for when it comes to the post control, I'm going to go with an 81. Now moving into the standing dunk, go with a 71. And this is what the build is going to be looking like today. Now, very unique when it comes to the finishing and the defense, especially for a Kyrie build. But when it comes to the playmaking and the shooting, this is really going to open up and spread the floor. I think as for the 3-pointer, this is very effective considering that we get a lot of special badges. So let's start with the finishing. The ones that catch my eye are going to be Silver Giant Slayer. You also get Gold Pro Touch, Silver Whistle, Gold Dream Shake. Definitely, I'm telling y'all, is going to make a huge difference on that inside. It's going to allow you to break ankles. Then we get Bronze Hook Specialist, gold post fade phenom. Moving into the driving layup, we also get badges like Giant Slayer, Slithery, Acrobat, Float Game, Scooper with Whistle again. Now for the standing dunk, Precision Dunker is unlocked before the post control. Gold Unpluckable, you also get Silver Drop Stepper. Then we get Post Spin Technician. Now I like these badges especially for a point guard. Moving into the shooting, you get Gold Blinders, Deadeye, Catch and Shoot, and Green Machine. Also paired up with Space Creator and Silver Spot Finder. For the Hall of Fame, I like Guard Up with Comeback Kid. You also get Mini Magician Open Looks. Then for the 3-pointer, to wrap everything up for the shooting, we're going to get badges like Corner Specialist, Claymore, and then we also get Agent 3 on the silver tier with Bronze Limitless Range. Now, I want to know your honest thoughts and opinions on this build so far. Really, one thing that I would take into account. Once you activate your takeover, that's at least a plus 10. Now, if you buy boost, that's another plus 4. Wearing certain gear, that's another boost right there. And the better you play throughout each game, you also get a minor boost towards your attributes. That's really going to allow this build to be very elite on the offensive end. As for that free throw, if you want to take the minor risk to go ahead and get an extra badge, go ahead and do so. As for the playmaking, we get badges like Dimer and Relay Passer. For the ball handle, you get Silver Blow-By, Killer Combos with Triple Strike, but then we get Gold Ankle Breaker, Unpluckable, Speed Booster, and Handles for Days. Now for this end of the floor, Hyperdrive, everything for this build I think says it's perfect for the offensive end. Now for the juicy stuff, on the defense, we get Silver Workhorse, also going to be able to maintain badges like Silver Clamps. You get 94 feet, Ankle Braces, Challenger, Fast Feet, Pick Dodger, and Workhorse. Now I do enjoy Gold Off-Ball Pass, and for the steal, this is my favorite section of the build. We get Gold Glove, Interceptor with Right Stick Ripper. Now I think this is one of the best comparisons that you can make when it comes to a Kyrie Irving template. Now I want to know, is there anything that you would possibly do to change or make this build a little better? Now I definitely would have to say, if you wanted to get more out of the layup, you definitely have to take another hit towards the pass accuracy. Somewhere in the playmaking, I would definitely consider keeping the shooting as is, or possibly even changing something from the defense. The physicals, I think these are very balanced. You get most of the animations when it comes to the finishing. As for the playmaking, you get all of the playmaking packages, which I think is going to be perfect for today's build. So let's go ahead and move forward to make sure that everybody made this build correctly. We should be able to get these 3 different comparisons. And as y'all can see, together, we have created the first and best shot creating 3-level ankle taker coming out to the shot creating 3-level threat. And I love these comparisons of Derek Harper, Darius Garland, and Trae Young. Now, if you add up everything of what I previously mentioned, you'll see the true and full potential of this build and what we can actually do. God bless every single one of you, to those of you who made it this far. And before we get out of here, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.